All right, good morning. It's really interesting. We have more people watching from home than we do here in person. Yes.
Okay.
We're going to start out down on our map. So welcome and good morning. So here we are, just about mid-August. And I noticed last week feeling a little bit drained. My family visiting and lots of activity. And I would just started a more gentle practice for myself, and I brought it into my class on Wednesday, and people agreed. A more gentle class, a more restorative class was preferred. So I'm going to offer that this morning. And as is always, you can make this practice your own by working a little bit more strongly in a posture or taking the posture to another level. Otherwise, I invite you to invite this next hour of restoration and recharging of the batteries. Sometimes we don't even realize it how much we need it. I know that was the case for me as well. So we're going to start out on our backs, and it's up to you if you want to lie down with legs long, or if you want to have feet on the mat with knees touching. So either legs long, or feet on the mat, knees touching, or some other shape with the legs. Maybe the soles of the feet together, sliding the feet away. So you get a gentle opening through the hips, but not a deep open just yet. And as you're lying your back, tune into the parts of your body that touch the mat. Tuning into the parts of your back, your spine. Does any part of your spine actually touch the mat? Feeling legs. Maybe you feel your feet touching the mat. And not yet shifting into any focused breath, any pranayama just yet. Maybe though you do take a cleansing breath as a way to sort of signal the start of your practice. Deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. I'm listening to these words of Brigitte and McNeil. As we sit in the late summer sun, the whisper of autumn and winter's descent can be heard from around the corner. And our attention is often drawn to what we do not want to grow as we approach the composting time of year, where all of nature starts to shed, go inwards, and let go. At this time of year, my grandmother and I would sit with bowls of freshly harvested fruits and veg, blackberries, raspberries, black currants, tomatoes, radishes, cucumbers, and so on. We would each pick a fruit that wasn't quite ripe, or was hard, or rotting, and take it out into the garden. We would think of something in our lives that didn't taste good to us anymore. Habits, behaviors, actions, stories that we still fed and grew, but didn't want to anymore. We would place it on or into the ground, under a leaf, in a nook of a tree, and voice to ourselves what it was, and thank it for the lessons it brought. But we're going to let it melt into decay, into sweet blackness, so we could now grow something else. Space, time, new habits, ways, and stories. We then gathered around the table again and gave great thanks and gratitude for our bounty. the bounty that we receive from the land, bounty that doesn't taste good, the nourishment and support from what has grown both metaphorically and physically. I'm so glad that my grandmother brought this tradition and ritual into my life, as it enabled me to not only offer great gratitude to the wild beauty and care I received from the earth, but also from the things I had grown in a metaphorical sense into my life. But it also enabled me to own up to what didn't feel right, pulling it up from the shadows and shining my light of awareness onto it so I could see it, taste it, work on it, and compost it. The tradition held a balance, which I greatly appreciated, as well as a sense of preparation. So I invite you to sit, metaphorically sit, with any words from that reading. Not your attention, even the subtle or very strong. Maybe bring it a little bit more deeply into your awareness. Anything that is not working, that doesn't taste right to you right now. Let that idea sort of settle throughout your practice today. Maybe you'll have some ideas by the end of the practice if you don't right now. But you might return to the earth. Allow to compost. Help it. Let go of things that aren't tasting right, not serving. It doesn't make more space for that which doesn't feel and taste good. Just honors it. Honors that internal knowing. Internal yes and no. Strengthens that muscle of knowing. Just as yoga is an 8-limbed path, parts to the practice of yoga. Just as yoga strengthens and stretches our physical muscles, bring that awareness of what's working and what's happening. We're strengthening that muscle of awareness and knowing. Shifting into some deep, slow, steady, diaphragmatic breath, maybe with right hand on abdomen. Notice abdomen expand, the deep breath in. Notice how the abdomen contracts with a slow, steady breath out. Inviting into our awareness that which we want to return to the earth, literally or metaphorically. Taking a nice deep breath in. Exhale, hugging knees to chest. Feeling into the lower back. Gently massaging lower back. As knees take a gentle left and right. Want to bring some movement into the neck. As your knees sweep to the right, turn to the left. Inhale back to center. Exhale, knees sweep to the left, looking right. Inhale back to center, knees sweep to the right and left. Inhale back to center, knees sweep left as you look. So keep going in this fashion. Inviting gentle movement into the spine. Tuning into any messages from your body. One more time, either side. Back to center. Placing feet nice and wide on the mat, knees touch. Arms can be beside you, or if it works for your shoulders. Arms in cactus position. The backs of the hands don't reach, and you've got blocks or a bolster, you can always use that bolster. So you rest the backs of the hands on something, allowing the shoulders to really soften into the ground. Taking a very subtle top of the tailbone, navel drawing towards spine. And tilt of the tailbone. Reaching your tailbone towards the floor, noticing how the lower back lifts off the floor. Inhale, tuck the tailbone, navel to spine. Exhale, reaching tailbone towards the mat, noticing the lift of the lower back. So it's a very subtle cat and cow here on our back. Not lifting hips off the mat as we do with bridge, but moving the pelvic floor, the pelvic bowl rather, as we tilt and tuck. Loosening up lower back. Very gently, very mindful. One more time. We'll tuck and tilt and pause. Extend your arms so that fingertips are pointing up to the ceiling. Really lift those shoulders off the mat as fingertips reach up to the ceiling. Maybe wiggle your fingertips. Warming up the hands. And then find opposite shoulder. Opposite elbow. To making a square with the upper arms and the forearms on your chest. And then begin to reach elbows left and right. Finding a gentle rhythm. Inhaling elbows to the left. Exhaling to the right. Very gentle reach at the upper back. It's feeling kind of stiff. Remembering that when we're gentle, when we warm up our muscles, the muscles relax that much more. And then we can find a greater degree of movement, greater range of motion. Inhale left, exhale right. Inhale left and circle up overhead, over to the right, across the chest. So making a circle with that left elbow and the arms go along for the ride. Maybe the forearms don't get quite above the head. Maybe they float above the forehead. Yeah, finding what works. Inhale, exhale. One more time, we'll circle up overhead and then pause with the forearms floating above the chest. Take a cleansing breath here, in through the nose, out through the mouth. More breath, letting go. Inhale, elbow over to the right, and then begin the circle in the other direction. Inhale, over to the right, up overhead, over to the left and across the chest. Again, keeping the circle small, if that serves you better. Two more circles in this direction. And then releasing the elbows to side. Do you want to come back to cactus arms? Or do you want arms to rest beside you, palms facing up or down? Noticing any sensation in the upper back, space between shoulder blades, the shoulders. If it works for your arms and shoulders, and you're not already there, float your arms up to cactus. And with an inhale, we reach the fingertips towards one another, overhead, keeping contact with the floor as much as possible, making our own little sand angels. Imagine lying on the beach, making a snow angel, but because we're doing it in the sand, we call it a sand. And then pause in cactus. Sweep the hands up and then see if the fingertips can touch the floor. So palms face the floor. Inhale, we scoot back up to cactus arms. Exhale, we sweep the palms up and down so they face the floor. So slowly inhaling, hinging at the shoulders. Exhaling, hinging again. Inhaling, floating the hands up and back. Exhale, we hinge. So palms face down. One more time. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. And then do whatever you want with the arms. Maybe your hands rest on your abdomen and you notice breath. Maybe palms are facing up as the arms rest on the floor. Inhale, open the knees wide. And begin to let the knees fall left and right. So remember, when the feet are wider, you have greater range of motion with the knees. Rolling up hips. Nice loosening of the lower back. Inhale, knees to center. Exhale to one side. Inhaling to center. Exhale to the other side. Inhale up and exhale. Inhale up. And exhale. Inhale to center, exhale to one side. Inhale to center, exhale to the other side. Come back to center, hug knees to chest again. Gentle rock, side to side. Either roll into one side, pressing yourself up, or hands on the backs of your thighs and rock up. And we'll pause here for a moment, legs extended, circling ankles in one direction. Noticing, do the ankles feel a little stiff? Or are they feeling nice and fluid as they circle around? And then reverse it. Sitting up tall, inhale. Exhale, hug the left knee to chest, and as you do, you sit up tall, breathing here. Every time you exhale, hug that knee a little closer. Inhale, exhale, slide that foot away. Take a breath in. Exhale, hug the other knee close to chest, sitting up. Imagine breathing into the lower back, and every time you exhale, draw that knee a little closer. Draw the soles of the feet together for Baddha Konasana. And remember, we judge the distance of the feet from us by having the palms together, lower them down, and the heels should touch your middle fingers. Now that's if it feels okay for the hips. If you need to move the feet a little bit farther away because that's better for the hips, that's fine. With hands on knees, we'll inhale, tilt the tailbone. Navel, chest, draw forward, shoulders roll back. Exhale, pull it down into the knees, talking round. Inhale, tilt the tailbone, lifting through the heart. Exhale, as you hold on to the knees, talk around. Inhale, tilt the tailbone, navel, chest, draw forward, shoulders roll back. Exhale, talk it. Sit up nice and tall. Exhale, slide the hands down the shins to the feet, let the head be heavy. Maybe curl those toes. Maybe use your thumb to massage the arch of the foot. Take a nice breath in, lifting up slightly. Exhale, folding forward, and then walk your hands over to the left. So they're kind of in front of your left knee. And then walk that right hand just a little bit away from you. See if you feel a stretch along the lower back, the side of the spine. Breathing in. This has become my new favorite lower back stretch. Walking back to center with your fingertips. Take a breath in. Lift up a little. Exhale. Folding forward, walk the fingertips over in front of the right knee. And then left fingertips walk away until you feel a gentle stretch along the left side of the spine. Left lower back. Breathing here. One more breath. And hands come back. And slide up the legs to the knees, legs extend again. We give a little massage to the IT band along the outside of the legs, the quadriceps, and the thighs. All the way down to the calves. And then swing your feet around, coming to tabletop. We'll be here a little while, so if you like to have a blanket underneath, set that up. And here in tabletop, we'll extend right leg long, toe curls under, taking a press through the right heel. Feel those right calf muscles get a stretch. And a little pulse back and forth, shifting the weight of the body forward and back. The gentle press through the heel. And then pause with that right heel reaching back. As you do, lengthen the head forward a little bit, making space in the spine, navel to spine. Engaging those abdominals to help you stay elongated through the spine. And bend the knee, a little pulse here, like you're bouncing a beach ball with the sole of the foot. Sole of the foot faces the ceiling. Nice deep bend in that right knee. To the sole of the foot faces the ceiling, and we pulse. One more. Down to the beach ball here. And then reach that foot over to the left, opening through right hip flexor, circling the foot, circling the ankle. Keep that knee bent as you swing it to the right. Setting up for fire hydrant. Lower that right knee. Inhale, open. Lower the knee to the mat. Inhale, open. Lower the knee to the mat. Inhale, open, come back to center. Keeping these parallel or opening them wide, big toes touch. Take a breath in. Exhale, press, find your toes. Remember, there are many, many options for the arms and even the head. If the forehead doesn't reach the floor, find your mat, grab your block or the cushion, place it under forehead. If it doesn't work to have arms fully extended, have the cactus on. You can stack your hands and rest your forehead on stacked hands. Breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, lifting up. Knees parallel. Extend left leg long, toes are curled under. Feel that stretch through left calf muscles. Lengthening head away from tailbone. Engaging abdominals. Do a little pulsing here. And then pause with a gentle press through the heel again. Again, lengthening head away from tail. Navel drawing a spine. Bend that left knee, sole of the foot faces the ceiling. And pulsing here. Nice and slow, with control. One more bounce of the beach ball. And then reach that left foot over to the right, opening through left hip. Maybe even turn and look a little bit to the left. And then circle that foot, circle it. And keep the knee bent as you sweep it over to the left, level with the hip. And drop the knee. Inhale. Exhale, close as knee comes to mat. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. 2 more. Knee comes back to the mat. Decide what child pose you want. Knees parallel or knees wide. Breathing in. Exhale. Hips sink towards heels. Two more breaths. Then inhale, lifting up. Back to tabletop. Inhale, extend that right leg long, level with the hip. Engage abdominals. 3 breaths. And then inhale, lengthen. Exhale, draw knee towards nose. And then look between the hands or just past the fingertips. Shift the weight of the body forward, bring that right foot forward. Hands come up onto that right thigh. So now we're lifted up. Pay attention to that left foot, all right? We're tuning into the left foot, left knee. We're gonna sweep that left foot behind us. So the knee and the ankle are in one line. Yeah. So we've got this modified warrior 2, or we're setting up for kneeling warrior 2. Hands in prayer position as you kind of face the long edge of your mat. Inhale up. Exhale, we open up the arms so they're level with shoulders. Back arm level with shoulder. Front arm level with shoulder. Soft, steady gaze past the front middle finger. Just as when we're in standing warrior 2, little tuck of the tailbone. And a little bit of a drawing back of the pinky fingers to engage shoulder blades. How's that back arm doing? Notice if it helps to engage abdominals, because this requires a certain amount of balance. One more breath in your warrior 2 on the knees. Arms sweep down. Extend that right leg long and then toes turn to the long edge of the mat, setting up for gate pose. Beautiful. So in gate pose, the big toe on the right foot is on the same line as the front of your left knee. And that right foot is pressing into the ground. So you try to press the outer edge of the foot towards the mat. Make any adjustments if you need to, so that that can happen. Maybe you draw the foot a little closer to you. Hands on hips to start. Inhale that left arm up, getting length. Inhale. Exhale, reach overhead as you roll that left shoulder back. Side stretch. You may even feel it along the inside of your right leg. As if you're leaning into a wall behind you with that left shoulder. You keep that left shoulder rolling back. 2 more breaths. And then sweep up and begin to take some circles. Up, back, and down with that left arm. Keep your navel to spine so you don't bring your back into this. Inhale up, exhale back. One more time. Again, hand can be on shoulder if that's better for your shoulder. Both hands on hips. Take a breath in. Do a counter stretch. Extend the right arm long. Inhale. Exhale, reach over. Inhale, back to center. Exhale. Hands come to the mat. A version of downward facing dog. We reach the hips back. Lengthen the spine. And then lifting your head, slide the hands close to you. Both knees are on the mat. Swing your feet around so you're facing the top of the mat. And we'll take 3 cat and cow. Inhale, tilt. Exhale, tuck. Inhale, tilt. Exhale, tuck. Inhale, tilt. Exhale, tuck. And we come back through neutral spine. Inhale, left leg extends long. Hip level. Navel to spine. Hold here for 3 counts. And then draw knee towards nose. Looking just past the center of your hands. Shift back and then bring that left foot forward. Hands find the left thigh. Draw the pelvic floor up as you lift up. Pay attention to that right foot pressing into the mat behind you. Swing it back so that the knee and the ankle are on the same plane. Line and plane. Hands in prayer position. Inhale up. Find your warrior 2 arms. Knee is over ankle. Is that left knee tracking in? Can you open it towards left pinky toe, just as when we're standing? Little tuck of the tailbone. Gently drawing pinkies back. How's that back arm doing? We want that front left arm to be floating over left thigh. So fingertips, yeah, I know. Hey, we're working the brain here. We're working the brain because this is different. This is so good for our brain to try something just a little different. 3 breaths as you gaze over front middle. And then arms sweep down. Shift the left toes away and then turn so the toes face the long edge of your mat. Beautiful, setting up for gate pose. Hands to hips to start. Inhale, right arm extends up and then over. And you're rolling that right shoulder back as if you're leaning into a wall behind you. Nice. Breathing. Inhale, lift up and begin to circle that left arm. Sorry, right arm. Inhale up, exhale back and down. Hand on shoulder. If it's better to have hand on shoulder versus arm extend. Inhale. Exhale. One more circle here. Hand comes to hip. Inhale, left arm up. Reach overhead, counter stretch. Come back to center. Finding the floor with our hands, walking palms away. Inhale, exhale, hips shift back. Inhale, lift your head, walk the hands towards you. Sweep that, or bring your left knee to the mat. Sweep your feet around, and then come to sit. legs out wide. Find a block. I'm going to shift back to mirror teaching. I wasn't mirror teaching before. Say as I do, not as I do. So block comes to the left thigh on a higher height. And we rest our elbow there. And we just sort of pause here, head dipping towards left shoulder. All right, so remember this. And then inhale, lift up. We're going to bring the right sole of the foot towards the inner thigh. Yeah. And then again, we're going to rest our head in our hand on top of the block. And then inhale, sweep the right arm up and over. Side stretch. Drawing the left finger bone, thigh bone into the hip socket. Leaning into that imaginary wall behind us with the right shoulder. Breathing here. Inhale, sweep the arm up and down. And to the other side. So both legs extend long to start. Left sole of the foot comes the inside of the right thigh. Block is on top of the right thigh. Right elbow is on top of the right thigh. And we rest our hand in the cup. Rest the head into the cup of the hand. Inhale, sweep. Left arm up and over, rolling that shoulder back. Kind of leaning a little bit back into imaginary wall. More about a side stretch than it is about a hamstring stretch. You may feel it a little bit in the right leg. One more breath. And then inhale, sweep that left arm up and down. Come on to front body. So feet swing around. Start out in tabletop, slide the hands away. We'll be in puppy stretch for 3 breaths. Hips staying over knees. Forehead melting towards the ground, heart melting towards the mat. Arms are extended. Breathing here, 3 breaths. And then shifting onto forearms, finding our Sphinx. So we're on elbows, forearms, palms, elbows underneath shoulders, so we get that nice lift up. Tucking the elbows nice and close to the body to get that lift through the lower back. Maybe you inch the hips away from shoulders to make some space in the lower back. Inhale. Exhale, drawing heart forward. Gazing just past the top of it. And then palms stack, one cheek rests on stacked palms. Open the knees wide. And then bend the knees, windshield wiper left. Switching, other cheek rests on stack. And legs lower down. Make legs nice and long on the mat. And left cheek comes to rest on the mat, arms and cactus to start.
Left cheek resting on the mat. Put a blanket under it if that's better for your neck. Inhale the right knee up towards right elbow. So knee is at a 90-degree angle. And your foot is flexed. So the ankle, there's a 90-degree angle between shin and top of your foot. So knee is on the ground, foot is on the ground. Foot is on the ground on the right side. Knee is drawing up towards elbow on the floor. Left arm can stay where it is, or you sweep it down alongside the torso. Into this restorative shape of half frog. Next time you exhale, imagine the right hip crease getting heavy. Slowing the breath down. You want a deeper opening through that right hip. You draw the knee a little closer to elbow. Otherwise, you stay just where you are. One more breath on this side. And then the right leg sweeps down alongside left. We lift our head up. And now it's the right ear resting on the mat. Both arms come back up to cactus shape. And we inhale left knee along the floor up towards left elbow. 90-degree angle in the right knee, as well as, 90-degree angle in the left knee, as well as the left ankle. Toes flex. Toes pointing out to the side. Right arm stays where it is, or you sweep it down alongside the torso. And settle in. Imagine with your exhalation that the left hip crease grows heavy. Following the breath in and out for 3 more rounds. As you exhale, slide that left leg long on the mat. Reach your arms overhead, forehead rests on the mat. Superman position. And then roll onto your back. So rolling onto your back, get yourself centered in your mat again. And then again, legs long, arms reaching overhead. Reaching out of the lower back. Inhale. Exhale. Hug knees to chest. Return your left foot to the mat. Extend the right leg up into the air, holding on the back of the leg. Feeling into the hamstrings. Keep that left foot on the mat or slide it long. Leg is moving towards straight. Two more breaths here. And then right foot finds the mat. Turn the left knee towards you and extend the leg up into the air, holding on the back of the leg. Right foot can stay on the mat or slide the right foot away so the leg is long. Left leg moving towards straight. Two more breaths. And then left foot finds the mat. Legs extend long. Pause for a moment. Decide if you want any other movement, any other stretch. Staying here for Shavasana. Or finding the blanket or bolster to place under your knees. Taking some time to rest, integrate and absorb the benefits of your yoga practice. Recharging the batteries a little bit more, restoring your energy. Following the breath as it flows in and out.
And a deep in your breath. Some of the further words of Bridget and O'Neill. Some may think it is a gloomy thing to bring in the dark harvest at a time of abundance. This act of also acknowledging what isn't working for us was and is an act of love. It helps heal something in us. It makes room, creates space to breathe, and brings in the possibility of new seeds. Knowing that you've made space in your body today, if not in your mind and spirit as well. Thank yourself for making the time for this practice. Grateful for the abundance of beauty, food that we have here in our region. Grateful to our bodies for supporting us in our practice. Left hand comes to the center of the chest. Right hand rests on top of that. Honoring our hearts and the heart's wisdom. May the heart's wisdom guide us throughout our days. Take your time. You can bring gentle movement back to your body with your fingers and toes. Any other movement or shape that helps you to ease out of Shavasana and into your day.